I stood on the ridge, wrench in hand, watching water roar through the streets below, swallowing 52 luxury homes that a crooked HOA had built on my ranch without so much as a handshake. Out here at Sagebrush Hollow, a sprawling spread just outside Sedona, Arizona, I thought my family's land was safe, but Diane Ellison and her developer pals had other plans, forging papers to steal my acres for their gated paradise. That morning, with sirens wailing and her silk robe soaked, wasn't just chaos, it was the moment I took back what was mine. Flooding their greed and exposing their lies, though the cost still haunts me. I'm Ben Carter, 62, a rancher who's worked this land for 40 years, passed down from my dad and his dad before him. A place where cattle roam, alfalfa grows, and my border collie Rusty keeps watch. Sagebrush hollows my heart. 800 acres of red dirt and stubborn sage, where I've raised kids, buried kin, and built a life as honest as the calluses on my hands. 3 years back, a slick suit named Victor Hayes rolled up in a shiny SUV, all smiles and city polish. "Ben, this land's a gold mine," he said, pitching a green community that'd make me rich. I told him to shove it. My land wasn't for sale. He grinned, like he'd heard it before. Think it over. I didn't, but trouble came anyway. Surveyors snuck onto my north pasture, planting stakes like thieves marking a score. I ran him off, but then came letters. County claims my deeds were unclear, rezoning my land for public use. My sister Ellen, a retired lawyer, sniffed it out. "They're paper tricking you, Ben. It's a land grab." I didn't see it then, but they were already building, and I was losing ground fast. I wasn't just a rancher. I was a target, and Diane's HOA was the spear. Diane's plan wasn't progress. It was theft. Her Oak Grove Estates HOA affront to forge titles, bully owners, and flip ranches for millions, my land the prize for its size and views. She and Victor, backed by Horizon Development, had deep pockets and dirty tricks, faking surveys to claim my north acres, where an old irrigation dam my granddad built sat quiet for decades. They saw me as a stubborn old man, too tired to fight, but this land's in my blood. Every fence post a memory. Every ditch a promise to my kin. I stood on my porch, those first foundations rising like tumors, and felt a fire, not just for my ranch, but for the legacy they thought they could erase. Diane's smug invoice, $1, 804 shared fence improvements on my own damn land, was the last straw. I wasn't just mad. I was done, and the dam's rusted valve was calling. I hiked up, wrench heavy, and turned it open, water surging like my rage, flooding their homes by dawn. I wasn't just watering my land. I was reclaiming it, and Diane's empire was about to drown. The fight erupted like a monsoon. Water gushed through Oak Grove, swamping driveways, garages, model homes with their fancy chandeliers now bobbing like buoys. Diane, in her robe, screamed into her phone. He did this on purpose, pointing up at me, her eyes venomous. I stood firm, wrench glinting, Rusty barking below, as 911 calls flooded dispatch, toilets bursting, cars floating, dogs on roofs. Sheriff Tom Reed, an old friend, rolled up, boots sloshing. "Ben, you opened that dam?" I nodded, voice steady. "My land, my water rights." He sighed, knowing my deeds were ironclad, but Diane's wail drowned him out. "Arrest him." Tom shook his head. "Ain't that simple, ma'am." I wasn't gloating, not yet, but then the dam wall cracked. A thunderous snap, concrete splitting like bone. I froze, hadn't touched it, swore on my dad's grave, but 40 years of rust gave way, unleashing a torrent that turned streets to rivers. A kid, maybe 9, waved from his porch, clutching a soaked teddy bear, his eyes wide but fearless. My gut twisted, not just the chaos, but the weight of what I'd unleashed, unintended but unstoppable. I wasn't just fighting. I was risking lives, and Diane was ready to bury me for it. Diane's motive was pure greed. Her HOA scam to seize land. Her forged surveys and payoffs to county suits paving the way for Horizon's condos. But I learned in Nam, truth cuts deeper than lies. The dam's collapse wasn't my doing. But it exposed their shoddy work. Homes built on unstable limestone, their secret water lines tapped into my reservoir, draining my wells. Diane spun me as a terrorist. Her media pals blasting rancher floods homes, but I had Clara, her legal mind sharp as barbed wire. She dug up my 1948 deed, water permits, and proof Horizon fake titles. While I filmed the flood, snapped pipes, crumbling slabs, their negligence laid bare. They pushed harder, bulldozers tearing my south fence, stakes 4 of Phase 2 sprouting like weeds. Victor smirked at the wreckage, voice slick. Insurance will cover this, Ben. We'll sue. Take your land and build bigger. I stepped close, eyes locked. You stole from me, lied, and built on a sinkhole. Keep pushing. I ain't done. His grin faltered, but Diane's rage didn't. She spray-painted my barn. Old men lose. Her bolt cutters caught on my cams. I wasn't just defending, I was hunting, and their lies were unraveling. The war peaked when a sinkhole swallowed a house, Horizon's cobbled foundation caving into the limestone they'd ignored. But the real showdown was the day Diane's lies drowned in court. She'd rallied a press mob, calling me a menace, but Clara hit back, her briefcase stuffed with proof, forged surveys. Stolen water lines, my cams catching Diane's vandalism. At the county hearing, I played her footage, her paint can gleaming, as neighbors gasped. You built on my land, I said, voice low. Tapped my water, broke my fences, and blamed me when it fell apart. Diane shrieked, he flooded us, but Clara slid our deeds across, calm. Trespass, theft, negligence, 52 counts. The judge's gavel fell. Horizon's permits revoked. Diane charged with vandalism and fraud, her HOA gutted. I opened a new well, its gush saving my herd, and flooded their Phase 2 site. Mud swallowing their stakes. Diane's SUV peeled out, her empire sunk, but a new survey flag appeared on my east ridge. Her ghost? Or a new thief? I wasn't just victorious, I was vigilant. My ranch alive, their greed buried. The fallout was like dawn after a fire. Diane's arrest, trespass, fraud, conspiracy, shattered Horizon, their shell companies exposed. 52 families suing for restitution, my land returned. Sophie's report, rancher floods HOA scam, hit 4 million views, sparking state laws on land theft. Diane's name a byword for greed. Sagebrush Hollow thrived, my herd strong, Caleb and Lila fixing fences, neighbors bringing pies, the kid with the teddy bear gifting a carved steer. We held bonfires, laughter replacing sirens. Rusty chasing fireflies. I sat on the ridge, coffee bitter, stars sharp, my dad's wrench heavy in my hand. Diane thought she'd erase me, but she gave us justice, a valley reborn. A flag waved on my east ridge, no name. Her echo, or a new fight. How many ranches still face her kind? Tell me below. Fought a land grab? Sheriff Rusty's bark or Diane's cuffs hit you? And let's talk holding ground over folding. At Sagebrush Hollow, we don't just live, we endure.